Hello students, this is Dr. Hemendra Sharma. Today again we are going to discuss something on entrepreneurship and small business management, and today's discussion would be on the topic operate how to operate the small scale enterprises. Now if you want to understand what is the small scale enterprises, we have already discussed in the previous discussions. Now how to operate them, how to run that particular enterprise is a very tedious process. There are certain guidelines to set up that and to initiate the working of that. But before that, we have to also understood as to how it will function. If you take an admission into an institute or into a college, you learn the culture, the behavior, the pattern of the classes, the duration of the classes, the way of conducting the test, MCQ, and certain surprise activities. So this is what you're adapting to that culture. Whenever you start the business, the same thing applies over there. Whenever you are investing your money into the small scale enterprises, you have to have a prior beforehand knowledge at how you will be operating that, and once you have established that it will be functioning on those beforehand information which you have gathered to function your small scale enterprise. Now moving further, there are following procedures to be adopted before operating a small scale enterprises. Now before setting up the small scale enterprises, you have to understand what all are the need and the requirements for setting up the small scale enterprises. A small scale enterprise development is not for everyone, whether disabled or not, and needs a high level of discipline, dedication, persistence, and creativity, as well as a lot of work. The micro entrepreneur must be capable of decision making and have the ability to manage employees, if any, and accounts. Furthermore, small scale enterprises development for persons with disabilities involves a multitude of additional challenges which require specific attention and strategies. Before setting up a small scale enterprises, it is necessary we have to understand to deal with specific challenges. In any business venture, specific challenges need to be addressed, which include the seed money, physical location of the business venture, construction or other physically demanding work, management skills, accounting skills, marketing skills, maintenance of equipment, machinery, and premises. So as you can see, before you start operating the small scale enterprises, you need to have a beforehand information as to how you're going to set up that particular organization or the enterprise. So it has to have a certain problem, it has to have a certain limitation. Now what are those limitations? The amount which you are investing, the seed money, you have to understand from where that money will be you will be borrowing, and how much you have to borrow, how much capital you are invested and how much you are supposed to borrow, and after borrowing what will be the repayment module of your. Then the physical location, how far from your home or from your city or from your the place where you live is that particular business venture of yours. Construction or other physically demanding work, whether does it require physical infrastructure or any other thing, or any equipments like plant and machinery, or any packaging thing, or any delivery vehicles or anything. So all these aspects need to be understand. Management skills. Now management skills here refers to what type of a management skills you are talking about. Management skills over how you are going to manage all these organizations of yours, how the functioning of the organization will be, you will be taking care of. Management skills is the understanding and correlation of the various different departments into one, and those skills can only be brought up if it has been inherited, and inherited cannot give you the confirmation, or even you are having a before and experience of those particular activities which are being required to manage the entire operation of the small scale enterprise. Accounting skills, are you aware of tally, are you aware about the basic functions, profit and loss, trading account, balance sheet, all these aspects need to be understand. Marketing skill, how you are going to sell the product or the market the product in the vicinity in which you have established your enterprise. If you are going to target a local people, or only you're limited to a certain locality, or you are going to increase your horizons to the nearby cities or districts. maintenance of equipment, machinery, and premises. Are you well versed about how to equip, how to manage the equipment, plant, and machinery? So all these knowledge and information is being you should have beforehand, so that you can operate the small scale enterprises very smoothly. And if you do not have, if by chance you do not have, then how much employment you are going to create for hiring these, and how much amount of investment is required to give them as a salary? Do you have that much of vacuum with you to invest in all those? So all these aspects needs to be considered when you are operating the small scale enterprises. Choosing the right business. The right business certainly varies from one person to another. Personal preferences, along with physical and mental capabilities, are the main deciding factors. Nevertheless, the focus should be on market demand and its limitations to determine if the business can be successful. So, as you can see, the right business certainly varies from one person to another. Whether along with physical and mental capabilities are the main deciding factors, or you require any specific sort of information to run that particular enterprise of yours. Review market demand and the competition. Review of the competition is necessary. Competition means there is a market, but how big is the market? How big is the challenge? You have to understand. It is important not to saturate the market and to supply the right type of a product or service, something that is in demand. So, you have to understand the challenges in terms of market and competition. How much vacuum do you have? How much competitors are already there in the market? How much you are capable, or how much innovation you are bringing with your the product, with the existing product line available in the market? So all these parameters needs to be understood when you are launching or when you are operating your small scale enterprise. Check seasonal ability. Agriculture and farming produce are often seasonal. The following question must be considered: is the crop or product available only during certain seasons? Are raw materials available all year round? Are raw materials available all year around? Can the product be kept in storage? Is the service or product only required during certain periods of the year? Can there be off-season production? So all these parameters needs to be understand when you are entering into the agricultural business, because it is a seasonal process. Mangoes cannot go all around the year. So you have to understand with the crops which you are choosing, the season in which you are residing. All these parameters needs to be understand when you are entering into the enterprise. Decide on business size. What type of a size? Care must be taken in deciding the size of the business. If too small, the business may not be feasible. If too big, it becomes too difficult to manage properly and may require extra help, which it adds to cost. If too big, the market may not be capable of absorbing the produce. So in all these factors about the business size has to be get understood as to how you're going to take care of all these parameters if you are entering into the business, whether it's too small, whether it's too big. What are the challenges which you're going to face if you have to operate such type of an organization? Identify the location. Location plays a crucial role in starting a small scale enterprise. While a farming or farm related enterprise need not be accessible to the buyers, the micro entrepreneur will have to travel to the market to sell the produce. When the business involves fresh produce, timely sale is crucial. For example, fruits, vegetables, and flowers are highly perishable and have to be sold quickly. Easy access to markets is important. It is necessary for a micro entrepreneur with a disability to be able to reach the market or to have easy contact with potential buyers. In some cases, it may be necessary to hire someone to help in the delivery of the produce. In the cases of services, micro enterprise location should encourage people from the village to come to the entrepreneur's workplace, which must be easily accessible to clients and be somewhat attractive. Low cost decorations can be used to attract clients, while good service will ensure their return. So all these parameters for identifying the location needs to be understood while you are, looking forward for the starting your enterprise. Check availability of raw material. Raw material for making the produce is readily available. Import of the material should be avoided because this will make it difficult to ensure a steady supply. Import of the material should be avoided because this will make it difficult to ensure a steady supply. Identify funding. A disabled person wanting to start a micro enterprise may obtain a loan for this from family or community members. However, the startup funds often have to be sought externally. It must be kept in mind that loans have to be repaid, and therefore one must borrow the minimum amount needed for startup and running expenses until the venture starts generating income. In some countries, government loans or institutional microcredit are offered to small scale entrepreneurs, whether disabled or not, who have a viable business proposal. Rural persons with disabilities often lack the education and skills needed for preparing a formal proposal and may need the help of family or community members. Several countries also have disability funds offering loans at low or no interest rates to individuals with disabilities who are registered with the responsible government authority. The loan can be repaid over a period of several years. The loan sometimes requires endorsement by a family or community member in case of non-repayment. Disabled persons seeking a loan must contact either local government authorities or government ministries that are most likely to offer loans, such as the ministries of labor, social welfare, health, or invalids. The ministry may differ from one country to another. Disabled persons may also obtain loans from cooperatives, agricultural organizations, women's groups, or farmers organizations, although such loan facilities are not specifically available for persons with disabilities. Even self-help groups are also there now. They are also rendering once they have established themselves to, fund your ideas. So we have to understand as to the when you are looking for a funding as to what alternatives you are available with yourself apart from the banks and cooperative institutional cooperative societies, because the government also runs a scheme for the disabled persons to cater to their need and requirement as to if they are looking forward for the enhancement of that particular thing. So these all parameters needs to be understood if you are dealing in such type of a funding issues. And being a disability also, if you are into a disabled, if you are a disabled person or something, there are government subsidies, there are government loans, there are government entities who are providing the loans to start up your own small scale enterprise. Review the market. Marketing is very important since competition can be very fierce. The following factors must be taken into consideration. Packaging. Packaging may or may not be required depending on the product. For the sale of fresh fruits, vegetables, or other agricultural produce, there is generally no need for packaging. A simple plastic or paper bag is sufficient. Now, packaging plays a very important role. It is eye-catching. It has to be attractive. It has to be reasonable. It has to be easy to carry. It is easy to handle. It should not be bulky. It should not look shabby. So all these factors when you are packaging, and it depends on it depend and it varies from product to product. Now, if you talk about the agriculture products like fruits and vegetables, they do not require. But the same thing if you purchase it from the hypermarket or a supermarket, you definitely require the packaging in fruits and vegetables as well. Presentation can play a important role even in the sale of fresh food products. Neatness, cleanness, and organization makes the sale outlet attractive and appealing to customers. Market test. It is sometimes interesting to test different types of presentation or packaging to find the one that appeals most to customers. Competition. Competitors offering the same or similar product must never be ignored as they already have clients and may be more experienced. Check their presentation, price, and sales technique. As a new micro entrepreneur, you can learn from the experience of others and adopt it to your personality. A lot can be learned with the competition. So competition plays a very important role. If there is no competition, then there will be a monopoly of the market and the market will saturate after a certain point of time. Market test basically to identify whether the existing product is as per the need and requirement of the customer, or do it require certain modifications or alterations. It can be in the form of product, it can be in the form of price, it can be in the form of packaging, anything it can be. So all these parameters needs to be understand when you are deciding the starting up or operating your small scale enterprise. Check feasibility before starting the enterprise. Too many people start a new small scale business blinded by the attractiveness of the product or by what seems to be an attractive market. However, many micro enterprises close down after a few months or years of operation, shattering the small scale entrepreneurs dreams of what appeared to be the perfect way of making a decent living. In order to avoid this, a pre-feasibility study should be conducted. Although this may be based on estimates, it helps to prepare for the future, and in some cases shows that another activity may be better. So feasibility is basically how feasible is your idea, how attractive is your idea, how much worth this idea of yours carry in the market. Because already any particular thing you talk about, there is a direct or an indirect competition in the market. So you have to understand before starting your enterprise, because once you have started your enterprise, you are looking forward to reap the benefits or the profits from those idea of yours. But sometimes it happens the idea of yours does not give you the desired result, the desired revenue, the desired profit. So rather shattering your dream of running the enterprise, it was beneficial to run a feasibility report, how much feasible it would be before, if you start these all if you start the idea of yours as an enterprise or as an organization in the real practical world. Challenges or a SWOT analysis is very important on the every aspect. A very minuscule part of starting the organization needs to be understood before you operate or invest your money. Check profit and loss of the organization. Check profit and loss basically of the organization refers to timely monitoring of the finances you have incurred, and the timely maintaining the records of the profit and loss. It's very important. Smooth functioning of the organization solely depends on the profit and loss of the organization. For that, you need to have yourself that much knowledge to understand the basic concept as to where the organization is going in terms of profit and loss. Apart from that, you can hire the expertise people in your organization to cater to the understanding of profit and loss of the organization. Avoid the common mistakes. Avoid common mistakes in a sense, you, when you are looking to a feasibility report, you must also have to see the mistakes which the prior people in the same enterprise or in the same organization the people have made, so that the same mistakes you do not repeat into the same form, and that can incur into the losses, or it can shatter your dreams of running the enterprise. So all these aspects, when you are starting your small scale enterprise, needs to be a very smaller part to the larger part. Everything needs to be understood, and if you do not do so, this is going to incur huge losses in your business. Preparing to start the business. Basic and unavoidable steps. There are 11 basic and unavoidable steps in preparing to start your business. Secure funding, opening bank account, identify precise location for the enterprise, build or renovate the structure or building required, arrange necessary infrastructure, water, electricity, communication, and others. Request permits if necessary. Purchase and adapt necessary tools, equipment, and assistive devices when required. Identify suppliers of raw material and consumables. Start production, control quality, devise marketing and sales strategies. So all these things, when you are starting the business, needs to be have beforehand. Funding basically to start the business, how much backup you are having if in case your seed money is exhausted. Bank account for transparent knowledge of the profit and loss. Location of the enterprise, if the idea of yours require the infrastructure or building, necessary infrastructure should also have the hygiene facilities, basic electricity, communication, water, and others. Communication can only be made possible if you are providing them the desktop or the laptops. The Wi-Fi connection or the internet connection has to be there. The required permits basically to and fro of the movement of your goods from one city to another, one district to another. If any quality approvals are required, if you are running certain business, you have to have the required approvals from the authorities. Purchase and adapt necessary tools, equipment, weighing machines, quality measure test. All these tools and equipment has to be there, so that you can see whether the quality of the goods which you are making is of the standard or it is of less standard. Identify suppliers of raw material and consumables. You have to identify the purchasers who are going to supply. You have to develop a supply chain of the commodities which you require on a daily basis, and who all are those persons who will be taking care of that. So all these things needs to be get taken care of. Managing the business. Running a small scale business is not only buying, producing, and selling. It also means keeping clear records, verifying profit and loss, managing cash flow, maintaining tools, equipment, and buildings, reviewing the market regularly, expanding the business wisely. Importance of a small scale business. Small scale industries play an important role in industrial development of a country. It is all the more important in case of developing countries like India. The socio-economic transformation of India cannot be achieved without the development of small scale industries. It has been estimated that the small scale industries contribute about 47% of gross value of output manufactured in the country. Their importance can be further highlighted by noting that SSIs provided nearly 5 times the employment as compared to the large scale sector. SSI is an important segment of the economy, contributing substantially in the form of production, employment, and export. So now, first, these all things has to be understand what is the role and importance of the SSI in the Indian economy. Now we should discuss the advantages of this particular sector. Generation of employment. Now, generation of employment here refers the small scale industries are labor intensive. That is, the ratio of labor to investment is very high in their case. A given amount of capital invested in a small scale industry provided more employment than the same amount of capital invested in a large scale industry. Since capital is scarce and labor abundant in India, the generation of employment is the advantage that can be put forward for the support of small scale industries in India. Moreover, these industries can be set up at the very doorstep of workers and thereby provide work for the unemployed, more work for the underemployed, and supplementary work for the seasonally unemployed workers. Self-employment. The small scale industries offer almost limitless opportunities for self-employment and hence are particularly suited to a developing country like India, where there is a big problem of unemployment and underemployment. Lesser capital requirement. Another advantage of small scale industries is that they need relatively lesser amount of capital than that required by large scale industries. As capital is very scarce in an underdeveloped country like India, it may be used to greater advantage in the small scale sector. Mobilization of capital. Small scale industries not only make economies in the use of capital but also mobilize capital that would not otherwise have come into existence. Large scale industries cannot mobilize the savings from rural areas. While this task can be effectively accomplished by setting up a network of small scale industries in such areas. Mobilization of entrepreneurial skill. Another advantage of small scale industries is the lesser requirement of skill and expertise, which is also scarce in a developing country like India. Further, large scale industries cannot utilize a number of entrepreneurs who are spread over small towns and villages of the country. On the other hand, small scale industries can effectively mobilize such entrepreneurial skills. Equitable distribution of income. Small scale industries secure a more equitable distribution of income and wealth. They are particularly suitable for the fulfillment of the objective of social justice. This is ensured because the ownership of small scale industries is more widespread and they offer a much longer employment potential as compared to the large scale industries. The development of large scale industries tends to concentrate large incomes and wealth in a few hands. Balanced regional development. Small scale industries utilize local resources, bring about dispersion of industries, and promote balanced regional development. The growth of large scale industries, on the other hand, have a tendency towards concentration of industries at a few places, leading to many evil consequences such as overcrowding, pollution, creation of slums, etc. Concentration of industries at a few places is undesirable from the point of view of national defense also, as during war times there is a greater risk of destroying different industries concentrated at one place. Savings in foreign exchange. Another advantages of the small scale industries are the savings they offer in the scarce foreign exchange resources of the country. Firstly, small scale industries do not require much foreign exchange resource for their establishment, and secondly, these industries can contribute to the foreign exchange resources of the country through adding to exports. Quick investment. The time lag between the execution of investment project and start of production of goods is relatively short in case of small scale industries. These quick investment type of industries are particularly suitable for developing countries like India. Benefits to large scale industries. Large scale industries can also prosper and develop if small scale industries manufacture and supply their small parts and semi-finished goods required by them. In fact, small scale industries are a must for the development of large scale industry. So all these parameters, if you see over here, are owing to benefit the small scale enterprises in a larger sense. How important is that in this current scenario? Generation of employment is there. A huge employment is being generated because of small scale industries. They are located in rural market, they are located in semi-urban market, and they are located in urban market. So basically all these type of markets are there where the small scale enterprises are functioning. Self-employment is arisen because of the less amount of investment, less amount of money, less amount of expertise. Self-employment can be made quickly possible. less capital is required, as I have informed you. Mobilization of capital not only makes in the use of capital but also mobilize capital that would not otherwise come. Otherwise, if the people is having redundant money with themselves, which it's of no use for them, and if they start up their own small scale enterprise, that money will be in the rotation in the economy, and which is going to benefit the economy as a whole. Mobilization of entrepreneurs, you possess some skills, you possess some tools, you possess some qualification, but you do not showcase that. And if you showcase that, that is not only going to benefit a person or two, and even to a larger chunk, but also it is going to benefit the country and for the coming entrepreneurs as a whole. Equitable distribution of income. Income is equally distributed as per, and the salary is being distributed equally as per the desired norms of the small scale enterprises. Balanced regional development of the state and other in all parts of the country will take place if the central government provides subsidy and schemes to the overall development of the industries. Savings in foreign exchange, that is release bothered in the terms of small scale industries. Quick investment, as the money is required less, so a quick investment can be made for starting a small scale enterprise. Beneficial to large scale industries. As a small scale enterprise, you can provide the backbone to the to a large scale industries, because every small and middle part of the organization running into automobile industry cannot be made. So in that case, the role of small scale industry is very important. If you talk about Lucknow's industrial unit, in a few years back, they were providing the industrial equipments to the Kanpur companies like Vespa and LML, who were developing the automobile scooters. So these all aspects help the correlation of the small and large scale industries. Thank you all students. I hope this is all clear. If any doubt, we can have the repetition of this particular class.